Today we're talking about the word shall. I personally don't use this word very often, but it is an important word to understand. So let's begin, shall we? Let's start with why I don't use this word very often. The reason that I don't use shall very often is that it is a bit formal and a bit old-fashioned. And that's not a bad thing, it's just not how I speak most of the time. Some people prefer to use more formal language. I do not. However, even if you are like me and prefer to use more informal language, you still need to understand how and why we use this word. A long time ago, the traditional grammar rule was that you use will for future tense when the subject is he, she, it, or they. But you use shall for future tense when the subject is I or we. So you would say, he will go to school. But if the subject were I, you would say, I shall go to school. However, we do not follow this rule anymore. In modern English, you can use will with any subject. Some people sometimes use shall instead of will in everyday conversation. It's just not very common. However, there are some situations in which shall is still very common. Again, I personally don't use these very often, but they are important to know. The first situation is offering to do something for someone. For example, the bellhop at a nice hotel might say, "Shall I take your bag?" Staff at nice hotels often use language that is more formal than the language that most people use in daily life, and that is why I used this as an example. Most people in daily life would probably say, "Can I take your bag?" "Would you like me to take your bag?" Or, "May I take your bag?" Again, shall is fine to use in this situation, it's just a bit formal. It would probably be a bit strange if you said, "Shall I take your bag?" to a friend or family member. Second, we sometimes use shall for suggestions or invitations. Basically, you have something that you want to do with someone, and you want to know what they think about your idea. In the beginning of this video, I said, let's begin, shall we? Shall we, in that situation, basically meant, what do you think? Would you like to begin? Or if someone asks you, shall we dance? That basically means, I would like to dance with you. Would you like to dance with me? And before we go to number 3, if you are finding this video useful, please don't forget to give it a like. This both helps my channel and it helps other learners like you because it tells them that this is a useful video to watch. Third, in very formal situations, shall is often used to mean must. You might see this in legal writing, such as a contract. For example, the employee shall adhere to all company policies. That just means the employee must follow the rules. And we sometimes use shall to show that we are confident, determined, or committed to something. Often, this is for things like promises or predictions. For example, we shall achieve victory just means we will win. But it sounds more formal and more serious. I probably wouldn't say that in conversation, but I might say that in a speech or something like that. So again, although shall is often a bit too formal for daily conversation, there definitely are some situations in which we use it. And if you'd like to know more about will, be going to, and other ways that we do talk about the future in modern English, I recommend watching this video right here. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.